And now looking to this team, there's a lot of turnover in the roster, but Coach mentioned that the kicking unit is one of consistency. You, the snapper, holder. How important is that as an overall unit to have that kind of chemistry that you guys have worked together for so long? How does that help the game within the game?
Yeah, so we have all returning starters on special teams are back as far as punters, kickers, and long snapper. So, yeah, building that chemistry last year, it's going to be great to go into this season already having, some consistency there. So that'll be awesome. I know, like you said, the rest of the team really isn't like that. So I think we're really the only group where that has stayed the same. So that I think is a big strength that we'll just build on this season.
So you talked about muscle memory. You talked about how you don't think about it a lot, like in the moment. So I guess I'm curious, what do you think about, like, when it's time to kick? Like, what do you think about when you're going through that process, like in a live game, clutch kick, whatever it
Yeah.
is?
So I take my steps back to the side. I set my feet. I look up at the uprights. I look right in the middle or wherever I'm aiming. If it's the wind's blowing, it might be a little bit different in one direction or the other. And I just tell myself, put it there. Like I imagine the ball going through the uprights right where I'm aiming. And that mentally helps me calm down, focus, not really think about anything else while I'm ready to do my job for 3 seconds, right? So, yeah.
Okay. Last thing for me, I'm just curious when you talk about kind of the voices, being established in the room in terms of leadership outside of the specialist room. Who is already emerging, or who came into spring ball with that respect already from the team?
Yeah, I think, going into spring ball, I'm not sure it was really known because there were some guys that, had some experience and were leaders, but the senior class, I mean, we had a big senior class, you guys know, last year, and many of those guys were like the guys, right, in each position group. So, I mean, we got guys all over the team in every position. I know you're talking to Aiden after this. He's a big one. We got some O linemen. We got some linebackers, Matt Devine, Aiden Plate, Jamari Bellamy. I know Peyton Zadroik is not actually here right now. That's a perfect example, right? He's on turnback right now, so he's not here. But I know for a fact when he comes back, he'll be one of those guys too. So we got guys all over the team. That's not really a concern of mine. I think we'll be fine in that regard.
I'm Brent from the Gazette. I think we met after one game last year, but I was surprised to hear you're working at Superback, just because like my first evaluation of you was your speed. That stood out, and now coach is like, no, he's adding some muscle and he's getting a little bigger. Like, how do you think you fit into that fullback, Superback role?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great opportunity. I mean, being able to cross-train on those two positions, I think it's good for the team. Just move things around. If someone were to go down, then I'd be able to play both positions, and also bring a little more speed to that position as well. I feel like if something were to break off, I could have that top-end speed to kind of get the job done, go make something happen.
Yeah. Now, last year in spring ball, John Lee Eldridge did the same thing, kind of cross-training, and then didn't end up playing more than a handful of snaps, as I recall. Have you kind of been given an indication that, you're kind of doing this as a trial like that, or that you should consider yourself a super back right now?
I'm not sure where it's at right now, but I'm just trying to learn the position as best as possible, trying to get myself as comfortable with the position. So if I get in that position that I need to either transfer over completely or play both, I'll be comfortable with it.
And just overall, how is the field different now in spring ball than it was a month ago in practice or last spring ball when you had so many veterans on the team? Now that there's been so much turnover, how does that kind of feel different to you?
It's not too different, but I think it's just trying to bring that leadership up, make sure every guy in the position group has like enough leadership to bring up those younger guys who have a shot now. There's a lot of younger guys who are hungry, and I think that's really good. And that's what we need on this team.
Is there a sense of opportunity among a lot of guys because so many people were waiting
Yeah.
behind in line, and now that there at the front? Is there an energy you sense from that?
Yeah, most definitely. I think there's a lot of guys in my class, the class under me, just guys eager to play, who are eager to learn, and I feel like there's a lot of people who have been waiting their turn for sure. But yeah.
And from a kind of a veteran leadership perspective, like who does the offense look to? You know, with again so many new faces.
Yeah, I mean, there's Cade, I mean Rosnos, a lot of those guys who've played a lot. Myself, a lot of us who have played a lot. But I mean, QB, John, we're looking a lot to him. So, I mean, he's going to be the new leader of the offense. So, I'm going to have to trust in him a lot.
And then if you vacate the tailback position, who would be, you know, Coach kind of told us who would be kind of in the super back room as of now. Who's at the tailback position?
There's a few guys who are working. I mean, I talked to them before I moved over to fullback for the spring and just told them that this position's pretty much open. I want them still competing. So, like Cade Frew, Tyler Latham, those are a couple names up there, Caden Cloud, that are also competing for this position.
And what kind of system did you play in high school? And what was your position within that?
We ran spread. We were spread offense, and I was just regular tailback, running back in the backfield. So, yeah.
As a single back?
As a single back, yeah. Okay. Single back set.
So there's obviously a well-established culture of excellence here. So I'm curious with the new class, you guys have been waiting your turn. What's next for this program? Where do you want to move this program to?
I mean, I definitely feel like last year was a good show of what we had. It didn't really end how we wanted it to, but at the same time, we have a lot of young guys with that same talent, if not better talent. So, I mean, I think we could do as good as last year, if not better. We just need to focus in on creating that culture or a lot of these new guys, we just need to continue the same culture that we've had over the last few years.
Coming up behind guys like Brad Roberts, John Lee Eldridge, what have you learned from guys like that? And are there any other mentors from the team that kind of took you under their wing, I guess?
I think John's took me under his wing a lot. I learned a lot the last couple years being with him, traveling throughout the games, and just learning the tailback position mostly. I mean, I wasn't too close with Brad just because I was different class here and I wasn't in that position group, but also still learning his running style. I just like to look at the different ways that they play and kind of incorporate that into how I perform.
Do you plan to use the tough part of the end of the regular season to kind of motivate this team as a leader this year, or were there any big lessons that you learned about that group or anything that you can use this season as well?
Yeah, I definitely think just staying together. I mean, I think throughout all last season, even through that dip that we had at the end, we really still stuck together and were able to come out with that bowl win at the end. So I think just keeping that momentum, no matter what rough patches we'll face throughout the season, just keeping it strong within the team.
Just given the history of this program and obviously known for the running attack, what does it mean to you to be sort of the next part of that lineage of great rushers?
I think it's an honor. I mean, hopefully, I'm just trusting my ability, trusting the guys up front blocking for me and the whole team in general. Kind of plays into a part. As long as everyone else does their job, it makes my job easy. So I think that I'll be able to excel a lot this year with the people that we have.
And as a running back, what is it like to be part of this offense that is so unique? How much fun is it for you out there to be part of this?
I mean, it's great. We get to touch the ball most of the time, so make things happen. So it's kind of in your control. And that's kind of more comforting as well. Yeah.
Back to high school real quick. Coming from that kind of program, nationally respected, like how did that prepare you uniquely to come to a program like this?
I think just the competition, being able to see great caliber guys. Also, like my sophomore year, we didn't have the best season, and then coming out from that, I had to step up and kind of help build the team up as a young leader. So I mean, I also had great mentors like C.J. Verdell in front of me, so I was able to kind of grow off of that and perform to the best of my ability.
Was it comparable in the carries didn't come until late in the career, or did you get the ball a lot early?
Earlier, it wasn't as much, but yeah, later in the career, more carries started to come, and just kind of how it plays, you know, it's part of it.
And then away from football, like what is your major?
Business management.
Okay. What are you hoping to do, and what kind of unique experiences have you had?
Yeah. I also have a minor in Spanish, so I think the most unique experience, I recently got selected for a trip to Chile, so I'll be going there for a little bit in the summer to, it's like a Spanish immersion and culture immersion trip, so I'll be able to participate in that for about 3 weeks.
What will you do?
Yeah. Pretty much just take classes, help expand my grammar, speaking abilities, reading, writing, and then they also take us to certain landmarks that are historical throughout the country.
Is there something special about having the whole experience you get here, as opposed to, if you're somewhere else and it's just football?
Yeah.
To do something like that?
Yeah, most definitely. I have a lot of friends at other schools, and it's still a great experience no matter where you go, but here's just a little different. Having those different, I feel like it's a more worldview that you get being here compared to other universities.